Okay. Wrong glasses. Okay. So the first thing we did was we sprayed the card with this clear acrylic matte coating so that it sticks the paint. And then some other things that we use. I like to use the Dick Blick acrylic paints. I use some cheap craft paint. I like to use some of the Testers acrylic paint. Model paints. Okay.
And you do have one of the Warhammer paints from one of our local game stores.
I do, and I really like that paint. Oh, right here.
Those are the Citadel paints. They're made and sold by Games Workshop.
Okay. Then I've got these paint brushes, really tiny little paint brushes. This one's a flat one, and this one is a pointed one. And on the other end, they have little scrapers to scrape off little errors on there. So those are really handy. I have my handy dandy palette, some water, paper towel, and I think we'll go ahead. So tell what this is about here. While I put some, I'm going to go around, and anywhere I'm going to paint, I'm going to put a first layer while Ryan tells about this.
Yahenni Undying Partisan is a 2/2 for 3 with haste. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on Yahenni Undying Partisan. Sacrifice another creature. Yahenni Undying Partisan gains indestructible until end of turn. Yahenni, in lore, is an Aetherborn, which is a creature type on Kaladesh. They are born of the magic in the air of Kaladesh.
What does that mean?
So, one of the special magic things on Kaladesh is ether, which is used to make all of these different artifacts and things of artifice. And the Aetherborn are a very short-lived species born of the ether itself.
Okay.
And Yahenni joined with the forces of the Gatewatch, which are the sort of Avengers of the Magic the Gathering world, to fight the Consulate in Aether Revolt.
Okay.
And he became a vampire completely on accident when he realized he could suck the life out of those serving the Consulate to extend his own life.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it sort of just happened.
Okay. And what I'm doing is adding my first layer just around all the border for where I'm going to extend the artwork. This is just going to be an extension, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I like to pull the paint towards me, so that is why I keep moving the card around. But I think you can see it okay, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to leave the, what's that called? The name of the card?
The title card.
The title card? Okay.
And the casting cost.
Yeah, and the casting cost on there. So I'm planning on extending that up, and then I'm just going to make that kind of black around the bottom. I like to make it darker towards the bottom. I think it anchors the card. But I'm doing browns instead of grays because really the card has a lot of browns in it. So I think that might be nicer.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm working on right here. And I'm just about done with that. Okay. coming back down here, putting more black. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to start with, I like to start with the backgrounds and start in with adding in kind of the background colors, which this is multicolored. So this is going to be a lot of nuanced colors. If we start here, because this is the driest, and if you go over the dry paint, it works a lot better. So what's the story here with this guy? What's he doing and where is he? Do you know anything about
this
story?
would probably be the first time he discovers that he can drain life out of someone to extend his own life. This happened where he was where the Gatewatch and him were confronted by the government of Kaladesh, and he killed one of them just so that he could protect the Gatewatch, and discovered that his own life, which was minutes away from ending, was extended.
Okay. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to match these colors. I like to try some right here. I like to match, I like to have the white paper there so that I can see if it's kind of matching. And I've got some orange, I've got some brown, I've got some white and black all on my palette right here. Oop, whoop, way orange. That way lighter. So that's not quite the right color there. So we were having battery problems before. Is it working now?
It's getting better.
So it's going?
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I think the newer battery's going to work better for now.
Okay. This, I don't like that. The color does not. So that's really orangey brown. I'm going to put some brown with a little orange and some white there. Let's see if that's better. Well, that might be better. So that's okay, and I'm going to take the color into there a little bit. But there it gets really light. I don't think we picked an easier card here. Okay. So I'm trying to match this as we go down. I'm trying to match the shades a little bit. Okay, so that's, nope. That's got orange and browns and grays all in it. Okay. Okay, so we're doing okay there, I think. Sometimes you have to come back to it because you can't quite tell if you're getting it or not in the moment. It has to dry a little bit so you can see. So then we have more browns here. Yeah. So doing some browns here. Pulling that through the picture a little bit. Now, some similar colors. So that's has more gray. Through here, right there. What's this right here, Ryan, do you think? Right there, can you tell? Upside down? Can you tell what, like right here, what that all is?
It looks like Art Deco style architecture.
Okay.
Probably.
Sometimes it helps to get a third eye, so to speak,
Yeah.
on what things are.
So the plane he's from is sort of, you would mix, if you mix like steampunk and India and
Oh, really?
steampunk India and Art Deco styles would be the architecture style.
Okay. All right. I'm going to come over here, though, and put some of these colors here. not quite the right color there.
On the bottom.
No, right here. Is that what you meant?
Well, yeah, the bottom of those two.
Yeah.
The higher one was really good.
Okay. So that I can tell what's what, I'm going to go into more detail over here and do some, this is a real dark brown, gray, black area here. So I'm going to bring that down. That's a little more black here. This. And here. You can see it's so minute. So sometimes my eyes do this bouncing thing and I can't quite tell what's what. All right. So I'm trying to decide what to do out here because I'm not sure what the artist would like, you know, thinking what the artist might like extended. What do you think through here?
Probably the shoulders into the arm of the person dying.
Tell me where the person dying is. So
Yahenni's hand is
here.
That blue.
And then
so that's his head.
That's his head. Okay.
So you can imagine the shoulders on either side of him.
Here and here?
Yep.
Okay.
So there's a pauldron right there.
What's a pauldron?
A pauldron is like a shoulder armor.
Oh, okay. So this is his shoulder here. And okay. Yeah. All right. So I could not tell what that was. Okay, so we want to, actually, I'm going to extend that lighter color then. I might have to get some yellow out. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm going to extend this. So knowing that, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. I hope I'm not making mouth sounds with my gum, but my mouth gets so dry otherwise. Okay. Let's see. So that's... So then this can be extended here, right?
Yeah.
More of a dark color here. Like that?
Yeah.
So part of it is it's just really hard to tell what's what.
Especially on darker colored cards.
Yeah. And this is definitely a darker... I don't want the paint to get too thick though, because if people want to use the card in play, it has to be under a certain thickness, right?
Really only if you're shuffling it in a deck.
ruined what I was doing, didn't it? Around there.
You can always paint again.
Yep. Yeah. Now, this time I get more of the water off my paintbrush so it doesn't accidentally drip down in there. So I feel like I need to come back in and put a little bit of that orangish yellow ring around the light in there. So on my palette I have some orange and I have some yellow and I have some white. I'm adding all those together to come around here like this. And then since I have it out, I'm going to come up here and do this one too. Nope, not enough water on my brush. I think that orange is not settling well. Let's see. To put some white in there. You can see how tiny the brush stroke needs to be in here. There we go. Just moving that out a little bit. And then I want to move this. I don't know what that does. What do you think this does there? Right here. Can you see this there?
Yeah, it probably starts to curl.
Curl this way?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's got a lot of white on it here. So I'm going to use that to help outline. Like this, maybe? Okay. All right, so then I'm going to add some of the, see that's a brownish, orangish color there. Oops, I put black. This paintbrush holds water differently than my other one does. I don't like it. Okay, so we want to add those in here. And then there's some black in here. Like this. We can kind of make it whatever we want as long as it makes sense with the artwork that's already there. And then this is some orange we missed in there. I missed. I don't know why I said we. Alright, let's try this. That's too abrupt of a line. So sometimes if it's not quite the right color, then I just add some of that color in there and kind of, so I drag it into the picture as well as off the picture. So then that, you can see where this is kind of coming, that's looking pretty good there. Although I like to put a little more brown in there with some orange, I think. Right here to extend this. Well, now I'm going to have to bring that in. There we go. So it's okay to change the, I mean, sometimes we've done here, I mean,
that's looking really good.
That looks pretty good. So let's come over here. Let's work on this little part of the cape. Let's pull this over to the edge. And then it has some red. I don't have red out yet. Let's see.
And his cape kind of goes into his name a little bit.
Yes, I'm going to extend that up.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, I think as long as you leave Yahenni, I think it would be.
So it would be okay to actually use the cape over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try doing some of this then. We're going to come up here. Now it's not going to cover very well at first because I didn't put a base coat on that. Let's just have it come up and over like this. So first I'm going to paint it, and then I'll go back in after it dries and add some of the highlights and lowlights in there.
And the ripples and folds.
Right, the ripples and folds, yep. So I'm going to let that dry. Over here, there's still some areas that I didn't get that grayish orange in. Probably people watching can see everywhere I've missed, but sometimes I get so focused on one little area, it's hard to even kind of see where I need to go.
Is it good to just keep moving around so that you let paint dry in one area as you move around?
Yes, that is, I like to do that because then it gives your eyes a break from that area, and then
you're constantly working at the same time.
Right. So then oops. I want to give a little bit more contrast than there is existing there, so that this edge of the cape looks like it's, then you can see where I'm bringing the cape out to the edge. So that's why I'm kind of doing this a little bit different color. And then what do we have over here? More of that orangish gray in through here. Yeah. So I'm going to add a little bit of, we're going to try to add a fold where it looks like it goes anyway, along here, along this vertical, through here. So I kind of have to turn it right side up towards me to try and see where what the cape is doing. There we go. Kind of makes it one cape instead of like a sack and another part. So that is pretty close to done. I think I'm going to finish up, and then you can scan it in and we can see how it looks.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.